Aloha gang, Dr. Russ Rosen here, and we are live. We're in the, excuse me, OHC system community, Facebook community. Wow, and that just moved. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type right here, say, oops, say, aloha, and let me know you are here. Okay, good. So here we are. My dog just came in and she opened the door, so I got to move that. Close that door. Sorry about that, gang. All right. So this master class is, and I'll just move this over here so I can see if anyone just commented. Okay. This master class is unlock the secrets to a masterful patient reported findings. It's a huge piece of the puzzle in reporting our findings to our patients. So far, we've got clear in headspace. Who are we? What do we do? Why do we do what we do? Why don't we do other things? Uncertainty. We've gotten clear on the orientation of how to communicate using the neuroscience of communications. What do we want to communicate? How will we learn to communicate it? Learning the neuroscience of communications. We did the consultation, the examination last weekend, and we really dove deep in the club. If you want to jump in there and see how deep we went in there, it was really killer. And today we're looking at the report of findings. Um, so we're here. My goal is to help doctors like you thrive in a care versus care true optimal health model, so your patients happily stay, pay, and refer for a lifetime. And we're here 3 Tuesdays a month right now at 1:30 p.m. California time. If you do find value in this program and you would like to dive deeper, you are welcome to jump into the club. I'll give you a free month. Just put club below and I'll give you contact to that for a free month. And after that, it's really cheap. At the moment, it's only $47 a month. It's going up in a couple of weeks. Okay, so today we're jumping into the first part of the report of findings. I break the report of findings up into 3 pieces. We'll be diving into that in just a moment. It's given as one report of findings, but I break it up for learning purposes into 3. So here's what I know. I know that most of us recognize that when patients come in to see us, they most likely need more care than they thought when they came in. So if we're going to help them get healthy and stay healthy versus just getting out of pain, then they're probably going to need more care. And it doesn't matter if you're a chiropractor, a naturopath, if you're doing subluxation-based, brain-based, if you're doing functional medicine, it doesn't matter. For most all of us, and I coach all of us, the truth is most people believe that they need less care. They don't really understand the value of what we can truly do for them. So if we recognize that we want to help them not just feel better, but to prevent problems in the future, to be healthier in 5 years than they are right now, to have a better life, like that's what we do from here to here, then we need to do the consult the way we're talking about, the exam the way we're talking about, and the report of findings the way that we're talking about. Um, Again, the challenge is that when patients come in to see us, they want to get better as fast as possible for as cheap as possible, and that's just human nature. But the truth is, they probably need more services, they probably need more time, they probably need more care, it'll probably cost more money. But so many of us are gun shy to tell them the truth. So many of us are gun shy because we've worked with so many people. When we did start to show them what they actually need, they leave running and screaming like their hair is on fire, or they can't afford it, or we're afraid because from a headspace perspective, we're going to think that they are going to go and think that we're trying to rip them off, or that we're just about the money kind of thing, or we just don't know the procedures. So today we're looking at the procedures. We're not talking about the headspace, which is a huge piece of the puzzle. But today we're going to be talking about the first part of the procedures um, to do a really good report of findings. So as always, I put in ChatGPT, and my goal today is, like, I've been getting in all kinds of trouble here for, they've been longer than 10 or 15 minutes, these calls, and everyone's telling me I have to keep them at 10 to 15 minutes. And I always try and under promise and over deliver. And unfortunately, I over deliver and it takes too much time. But I'm going to try and keep it under 15 today. We'll see what happens. So I put in Chat GPT and I said, um, aloha, Ian, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I said, when a doctor does a report of findings for a patient, what are the key elements that are essential to ensure effective communication, patient understanding, and trust? So how do we do it? How do we do a report of findings? And I always appreciate what chat is saying, because they're really talking about doctors, mostly probably in the medical world. Um, and as I go through these, I've never experienced that in that world. I hardly ever experience it in our world. But the things I'm going to go through right now, you'll absolutely do, and your patients will experience if you do it the way I'm going to recommend. So they talk about preparation and review. So make sure you review it, you prepare, so you can understand the results and you can anticipate their questions. So many of us don't take the time to actually do this, but it's really important that we do. We got to set the right environment so that there's privacy. I've seen doctors do this in open room when they're doing, and I practiced in open room, but I, not visit one and visit two. And we want them to feel undivided attention, and they don't want to feel rushed. Clarity and simplicity. This is a big one for so many of us. We're not clear. It says use simple language, use visual aids, summarize the key points. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But that's a huge piece for so many of us. We either don't give them enough information or we give them way too much and they start drooling. Hey, knock it off. Hey, we're on a call right now. We're on a call. Say hi to everybody. Because the Amazon truck just went by. So say hi to the Amazon truck. FedEx is right there. She's kind of losing it. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Okay. We need to ensure their understanding. We got to check for comprehension. This is a critical piece of the puzzle, and invite questions. We use the neuroscience of communications. We use Socratic questions. We use stories. We use metaphors, and we make sure that they get it. Again, this is something I rarely experience out there. We got to be able to discuss the impact. So we got to be able to explain the relevance of what's going on with them, good news, bad news, consequences, provide context. They need to be able to get it in context. And in my world, we call it tell the truth and consequences of their actions. The truth and consequences of their actions. I'm not talking about scare tactics, but it's our job to tell them the truth and the consequences of their choices. We need to discuss next steps. We need to address their emotions and their concerns. We certainly do that. Be empathetic and offer support. We need to provide documentation, written summaries. Yeah, absolutely. We want to have something. If they're a visual learner, they're going to learn by looking at that form with you that they're going to get to take home, and contact information that they're how they're going to be able to reach you, etc. And then patient involvement. So say bye bye, bye bye. Okay. So it should be shared decision making. We're going to find out what they want in relationship to what we can do for them, and show them how to have what they want. And again, these are things that I just have hardly ever experienced in, seeing other doctors. But these are things that, almost every time when I do these Chat GPT things, I'm going, yes, that's exactly what we do. But I don't see it out in the real world very often. So, and then of course end with encouragement. The last thing we want to do is use scare tactics. We do want to encourage them, and there's really a whole lot more that you'll see that we do in our report of findings. So we're going to break it up into 3 different pieces. The first part that we're going to go through right now is the easiest. You can definitely have a CA or staff member go in and do this for you. Doctor, you don't have to do this part, but it's just a quick review, just to make sure their head is in the game. They got done with the exam, they went home, chop wood, carry water, change diapers, talk to in-laws, help with kids' homework, come back. You got to get their head back in the game, so it's a quick review. You remember in the exam, we said, we're not going to do, I'm going to gather information and then I'm going to teach you in the report of findings. We taught them during the exam, right? I don't want to have to sell them during the report of findings. I want this to be order taking, right? I've already sold them. They already get it. They already see the value. They already want it. That already happened. Now we just do a quick review. And then in part two, we're going to find out what they really want, right? I want to just feel better. I want to really get healthy. I want something in between. I want to just leave. I don't want to work with you at all. Just find out what they really want. We'll do that in part two. And then we have to show them how they can have it. So in part three, we'll be going through a care plan. How do you actually, do the care plan, especially, if you're saying, well, come back tomorrow or come in for 3 visits, not a big deal. But if you're going to show, an 8 or 10 or 15 or $20,000 program, because that's the truth about what they need, you've got to learn how to do it in a way that you can walk them up a series of steps so they can hear it and they don't go in overwhelm, right? Because the odds are it's going to be more time, energy, finances than they expected. So there's very specific things we have to do from the neuroscience of communications. Okay, so where am I? Okay, so in our ROF part one, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to review I take it back. We're going to review, okay, and I wanted to say, some people do the consult exam and a report of findings right then and there. So obviously that's fine. You can still use this report of findings. You wouldn't do a whole lot of this particular part because you've already just went through it with them, but there are pieces of this you would use it. If you're doing that, you're working with me, I'll show you exactly how to do it. But many of us like to do the report of findings on the second day, and this would be on the second day. So if you have a presentation that they watch, we're going to do a quick review of the presentation just to get their head back in the game. Okay, and there's going to be bulleted points. So like in mine, we got these bulleted points in this report of findings summary form that we're going to go through with the patient. So we're going to sit there with them and look at this together, because if they're visual learners, they're going to learn through their eyes. So I'm going to go through these points with them of a quick review of their first visit or what they just saw in the presentation. And the reason for that is to get their head back in the game. I want to get their head back in the game, right? Curry water, change diapers. They come back, I get their head in the game. Some people like to use a presentation. Some people don't like to use presentations. I personally like to. I like to have them fill this form out right here. And if you want to get access to this form, this Thursday, is it this Thursday? Yeah, this Thursday in the club, I'll be going way deeper into this particular piece right here, and I'll be giving this to you. So you are welcome to join into the club. Again, just put club below and I'll give you that information, how to get in there, and you can have a free month, and you can get that as well as this from the examination. All right, the next thing I want to do is get really clear on what my job is and what your job is. So this is my job. I want to be very clear with them. My job is to give you the very best, to tell you the truth about your condition, tell you and give you the very best recommendations. And it's going to be your job to choose what you want to do and how you want to proceed from here. There's very specific things right there that I need to do so that I can get clear about this is what you need to do and this is what I need to do. And I want to be able to show you the whole enchilada. So I've got to get an agreement from you that you want me to show you everything. So there's a very specific thing that we do right there. And then I'm just going to go through the body signals. So you came in with, right? Now, you remember in the examination, we have them circle their chief complaints, right? Here, and they circled their chief complaint. They underlined all these other things going on. So you came in with headaches and neck pain, but we also discovered spaciness, dizziness, mood swings, brain fog, gas, bloating, indigestion, heartburn, coated tongue, stinky armpits. Like, we discovered all these other things. Remember that you blew their mind. They were going, how did you know that? This is amazing, right? You told me everything but my mother's maiden name. I want to remind them of that. Okay, so you came in. We also discovered, and it's keeping you from, right? Remember, we talked about how important that was in the consultation. We go very deep into, we talk about diagnosis or lack of diagnosis, pain or symptoms, OPQRST pain, and then how it affects your life at work, play, and home. So we got that information, we put it right here. So you came in with, but we also discovered, and it's keeping you from, right? And now, if they did fill this out in the presentation, you think you're here, you'd like to be there, you think it would take this long to get there. If you got that long, this is how motivated you are to resolve this problem and to get to here. If you got to get there, you need to make these kinds of changes, correct subluxations, brain imbalance, nutritional deficiencies, whatever. And this is what you would hope for if you got there, right? So they've already filled this out if you did the presentation. If not, we do this later in part two of the report of findings. So we just do a quick review. So you said you think you're here, you'd like to get to there, you think it would take this long. Just a quick review. Again, we're just getting your head back in the game. We're literally a minute into it right now. And then we're going to go and we're going to review the 4 questions. So, we're going to go over 4 questions. What's going on? Can we help? If we can, how long will it take? And what will it cost? And give me 1 second. And then we're going to go right into 1. So we're going to give them context for the content. And again, there's so many details to this, I'm just not able to go through in this particular time. I'll go into more in the club. But, we're going to go through 4 questions. What's going on? Can we help? How long will it take and what will it cost? Any questions along the way, let me know. Now, if you just start talking about what's going on, you can lose probably about half of the people. Half the people need context for their content. So this is what's going on. Can we help? How long will it take? What will it cost? What's going on? And now we have to very clearly go through your objective tests with them so that they understand them. Those are the things you need to do. Now, in our next one, ROF Part 2, we're going to find out what they want and show them how to have it. And then in the next one, ROF Part 3, we're going to show how to do a care plan where you can show if you choose to a larger care plan that costs much more than you're probably doing right now, because it's the truth about what they need. So you're going to start just telling the truth, but you can do it in a way that you're not blowing people out of the water. Done in the right way, with most of the clients that I work with, I want to see an 80% or 90% sign up rate for the largest plan. 80 or 90% sign up rate for the largest plan. But you got to do the consult right. You got to do the exam right. You got to do the report of findings right. If you do that, and again, it could be a $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 program. My experience is, and I know I'm going to say this and you're going to roll your eyes. I can hear it already. It really doesn't matter. The price isn't as important as getting them to truly value it and want it. You can get them to value it and want it. It's amazing how they'll find the money. Is that for everyone? No, there's a lot of people out there that can't afford it, but especially if you've got the right funnel and you're bringing in the right people, the right niche market or niche market of people, part of that is that they, love what you do, want what you offer, do the kind of thing that you can help with, but they can also afford your care. Okay, so this whole thing really is about, this fact. It's a quick review from last time of the presentation. This is my job. This is your job. You came in with, but we also discovered and is keeping you from. Quick review of the health and wellness goals from here, if they actually filled that out already. If not, you don't worry about it. You get to it later. And then it's just, we're going to go over 4 questions. What's going on? Can we help? Pause. It gives a little shot of norepinephrine because they want help, which is what we need to keep them present. How long will it take and what will it cost? So what's going on? Again, in the club on Thursday, I'm going to go into great detail about how to do that, how to explain what's going on in a way that they actually understand it. So did I get close? 20 minutes. Dang it. Trying to get under 15. Maybe next time. We'll see. Christopher, welcome aboard. Good to see you in Las Vegas. Gabriel, aloha. Good to see you. Ian, good to see you. All right. So for those of you who um, watch this on replay, if you have any questions, post below. If you want to jump into the club, just put club. I'll send you a link that you can get a free month. Again, the depth in there is pretty phenomenal, and the things that I'm giving away in there are pretty phenomenal too. So I'm checking here. It doesn't look like we have any questions here. All right, gang. As always, much love and aloha. Bye, gang. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's not ending.